happy to take a few questions if there are any.
Yeah. What do you do with homeless veterans?
I'm very glad you asked that question, actually, because one of the things that President Obama, and I would say, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to meet Secretary Shinseki, but he is more committed to ending veterans' homelessness than anyone I've ever worked with. He and the President made a commitment just a few months ago that we will not lower veterans' homelessness, but end veterans' homelessness in 5 years. We just increased.
They fought for country.
I couldn't agree more with you. It is a enormous shame that we still have too many homeless veterans on the streets of this country. In our budget, we just proposed a more than 50% increase in resources available to house homeless veterans, and we will not stop until we have ended veterans' homelessness. Yes, sir. You're famous around here, I think.
My question is, what is the administration going to do for the pre-existing stock, like in Baltimore, the greater Baltimore area? The average house is almost 100 years old. The people that are living in, like my parents, that own their house, that need work for it, but because they're elderly and the type of work that needs to be done, they really can't even stay in the house. To bring the house up to modern code, you have thousands of people in the greater Baltimore area that live in these homes that need, great homes, but they need to be brought up to modern code.
Yeah. So, a couple of things I would say about that. The tax credit program, while we tend to often think about it as new construction, about half of the work that gets done through the tax credit program, it's on rental housing, but half the work that gets done is rehabilitation. So that's a key source of funding for rehabilitation, and it's something that also had been stopped by the economic crisis and something that our TCAP program has helped to move forward. The second thing I would say is that one of the most important sources, I saw this in my own work in New York, where we had literally hundreds of thousands of units of dilapidated and abandoned housing. Other HUD funds, like the Community Development Block Grant, are a key source of ways that we can attack that. There was $1 billion of Community Development Block Grant funds in the Recovery Act, and the President just signed a few months ago our 2010 budget, which included, he made a commitment during the campaign to fully fund Community Development Block Grant. We did that in our 2010 budget, working with Congressman Cummings and our other partners in Congress. So that's the second thing. The third thing is we included in the Recovery Act $2 billion of neighborhood stabilization funding, competitive, and we just made 2 significant awards to these neighborhoods surrounding us that will allow the city and its partners to buy up, renovate existing homes, or in the case most extreme, look at this block right here. There are cases where demolition needs to be done, where some of these houses aren't going to be able to be saved, and we need to make sure that there's progress on getting them down so that they're not not only code hazards, but drug dens and other real scourges on our neighborhoods. And so that's an enormous tool that we have as well to be able to do more around the existing homes and their condition in our community. Eric, do you want to say something?
I just wanted to thank the HUD Secretary and the President. He's being modest. That's not all the administration has done. We recently received $17.5 million in ARA funds for weatherization. So that's our older homes, to make sure that we can make them more energy efficient, to make sure they're not that they're healthy homes. You know the problem that we have in Baltimore with our old homes around lead paint and lead dust in our homes. So he's being modest when he talks about their investment in the city. We are the recipients of a great deal of funds. We're going to make sure it gets out to our neighborhoods, and we want to get our people. So we should those opportunities we can circle back around.
Thank you. Thank you. It's actually a great point. One of the things we're doing in the Recovery Act, partnering with the weatherization money, is trying to go after lead paint, too. And I know that's been a real issue in communities around Baltimore. We made a lot of progress, but we've got to go further on that as well. Any other questions?
One more question.
Any questions from the press at all? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I live in the building, the Junkie building right across the street from here. It's an artist warehouse building, along with a lot of these buildings here. We use large 5,000 square foot units to I run a nonprofit theater company out of there. I would like to know what buildings like this, in particular, what the administration are going to do to help we artists who are not going to be able to afford these large units in this neighborhood, due to maybe find permanent spaces or help keep their costs of living and their costs of production down.
Well, one of the reasons why this building's going up is because we believe, and certainly the city and the state who've invested in it as well, believe that we need to provide affordable space for artists. So a contribution is that. There's a lot that we can do to help preserve existing buildings as well with the kind of resources that we talked about. Those come with protections on affordability and a range of other things. I'd ask the mayor or anybody else if they want to speak specifically to that, to your building, but we do have tools that can help to preserve the affordability of existing buildings as well.
One of the main concerns I have is that what allows us to be able to stage large plays, afford to have a unit where we're able to take our theater company on tour and have enough room to work and provide a shop is the fact that these units are 5,000 square feet and still under $2,000. The largest unit in this building is 1,000 square feet.
This building is not going to be the answer to all artists' problems or artists' issues, but we're here today because we all believe, our federal partners, our state partners, we have Congressman Senator Cardin's representative here, Senator Mikulski's representative here. We're all here, Congressman Cummings, the state is here because we understand that artists help revitalize communities. So this building isn't going to replace the space that you have, but we're willing to work with you to make sure that we protect the space that you have, and there are more opportunities for artists like you that are representing us around the region with your theater company to be able to thrive in this environment. More than